Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about this journey we call life. One contact is sometimes all it takes to feel like the door just slammed in your face. You reach out, you make the move, you put your heart, your dream, your idea, your passion out there. And what happens? Silence. Or worse, they act like they never saw you. They brush it off. They reject it. And in that moment, your heart wants to pack it all up. People spend too much time thinking rejection is about them. Like the moment someone says no, turns away, or doesn't respond, suddenly that must mean you're not good enough. That must mean your dream was too big, your voice too small, your idea too weak. But let me tell you something, and I need you to hear this deep down in your soul. Rejection does not define your value. It never did. What rejection actually does is shine a light on the fears, insecurities, and limitations of the person doing the rejecting. You think they said no because you weren't qualified? Nah. They said no because they couldn't see past their own doubts. They didn't believe because they've never had the courage to step out like you did. People project their fear onto your confidence. They don't know how to handle someone who dares to go after something that looks impossible. That ain't about you. That's about them. You can walk into a room full of small-minded folks and pitch something beautiful, bold, and brilliant, and every single one of them could look at you like you crazy. But that doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means they scared. They scared of change, scared of ambition, scared of anything that forces them to step outside the comfort zone they've built for themselves. You ain't responsible for that. You just keep being bold. See, I've been rejected more times than I can count. Doors slammed, phones hung up, emails unanswered, people laughing. I used to wonder, man, what am I doing wrong? But then I learned I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just making people uncomfortable. I was reminding them of the things they never chased, the chances they never took. I was walking proof that maybe their excuses weren't valid. And people don't like that kind of mirror being held up in their face. Don't you ever shrink to fit someone else's comfort zone. Don't start doubting your worth just because somebody else couldn't handle it. Listen, your gift, your voice, your passion, those things were given to you by God, and ain't no human rejection powerful enough to cancel what he's put in motion. You might feel the sting, but that sting is temporary. That sting ain't fatal. That sting is a signal. It's God saying, that's not the room, that's not the one. Keep walking. Every no you hear is clearing a path to the yes that's meant for you. And I need you to hold on to your value through every single one. Rejection is going to come. That's a guarantee. But what's not guaranteed is your reaction. You can either crumble or you can rise. You can take it personal or you can take it as motivation. Me, I take every no like a challenge. Oh, you don't see it yet? Cool. I'll be back, stronger, louder, better. I don't disappear. I level up. Because once you understand that rejection is more about fear than it is about fact, you stop letting it sit in your spirit, you stop letting it hold you hostage, and you start moving with power. You start creating for the people who will see you, who will value you, who won't run from your greatness, but will rise to meet it. You might not be everybody's cup of tea, but trust me, you somebody's whole meal. You just got to keep showing up until the right ones take notice. You got to walk through rooms where you're overlooked and still hold your head up like you own the place. Because deep down, you know something they don't. You weren't built to be accepted by everyone. You were built to stand out. Rejection is not a stop sign, it's a redirect. It's proof that you've got something real, something powerful, something that shakes people. And the world doesn't always clap for that right away, but you keep going anyway. You keep rising because value isn't proven by applause. It's proven by your consistency, your courage, your refusal to quit. So when they say no, smile, nod, and keep moving. Because that no just confirmed what you already knew. You're on to something big. Let me tell you something real right now. One no can feel like the end. You put your whole heart into something, you prepare, you practice, you pray, and then you step out in faith. You knock on that door, you make that call, you send that message, and when the answer comes back as no, it hits you like a punch. It shakes your confidence. It makes you question everything, your timing, your plan, even your gift. But here's what I've learned from living a real life full of closed doors. That one no doesn't cancel your destiny. It actually confirms it. You see, people who don't have anything special brewing in their spirit don't get told no like that. You get hit with resistance when you're trying to do something that matters. You face rejection when you're carrying something heavy, something divine. The enemy don't chase folks who ain't going nowhere. If you're under pressure, it's because you're on the path that leads to breakthrough. That no ain't there to stop you. It's there to sharpen you. It's part of the fire that forges you into the person who can handle what's coming next. That's the thing right there. Most people think no means stop, turn around, give up, go back to safety, but not you. You're different. That no you just got, that's your signpost. That's the moment the enemy got nervous. That's the moment your potential became visible. You thought that rejection was the end of the story, but it was actually the first plot twist. Every story worth telling has one. Every champion you admire got a no before they got a yes. When I was starting out, I can't even count how many doors slammed in my face. Comedy clubs didn't want me. TV networks turned me down. People in the industry looked me dead in the eye and said, "You don't have what it takes." And for a second, I believed them. But then something clicked. I realized they didn't have the final word over my life. I realized they didn't create my gift. So how could they limit it? They weren't in charge of my outcome. They were just part of the test. God allowed those no's not to block me, but to build me. You see, sometimes the no is necessary. Sometimes God lets you get rejected so he can reposition you, because the door you thought you needed might not be the door that leads to your purpose. That platform you thought was the dream, maybe it was too small. Maybe your vision was bigger than that room. And God, in his wisdom, said, "No, not here, not yet. I've got something better." And you don't always see it in the moment. In the moment, it hurts, it stings. But later, when you look back, you realize that rejection was really a rescue. You weren't denied, you were directed. That's why I say no is not the end of the road. It's confirmation that you're on the right road. It means you're moving. It means you're trying. It means you're stepping out while other folks are still standing still. That no proves you're in the game. And if you keep pushing, keep praying, keep trusting, that no becomes a not yet. And that not yet turns into a testimony. You got to understand, rejection is the price you pay for elevation. Nobody rises without resistance. Nobody climbs without slipping. You want greatness? Then expect to get some no's. But let each one fuel you. Let it remind you that you're walking the path carved just for you. Your destiny was never meant to be easy. It was meant to be earned. Not because you have to prove yourself to the world, but because through the process, you become the person strong enough to carry the blessing. So the next time you hear no, don't fold, don't flinch. Stand a little taller, smile a little wider, because now you know something most folks don't. You know that no isn't your finish line, it's just a checkpoint. It's a reminder that something bigger is on the way. You're on the right road. Keep walking. Listen to me carefully, because this is the kind of truth that can change your whole mindset. When you put yourself out there, whether it's chasing a dream, applying for a job, pitching an idea or stepping into something new, and you get hit with that no, it can feel like the universe just shut the door on you, like your chances have dried up and your future is fading away. But here's what I want you to understand right now. One no does not cancel your destiny. It actually confirms you're on the right road. It confirms you're moving forward, even if you don't feel like it. See, rejection is not a sign that you're lost or unworthy. It's a sign that you're trying. It's a sign that you are daring to be more than what people expect from you. People who never try, who never risk, who never push past their comfort zones, they don't hear no because they never show up to get told no. You only get rejected when you're stepping into new territory, when you're stepping outside the familiar. That's what makes rejection an important part of the process. It means you're trying to grow. Every great story of success is littered with no's. The difference between those who win and those who quit is how they respond to those no's. You get one no and you feel like you're done? No, that no is just a checkpoint. It's a pit stop on the road to your destiny. It's not the final destination. You can almost think of no as a way to measure how serious you are about your dream, because the more important your dream, the more you'll face resistance. The more resistance you face, the more you know you're on the right path. I want you to hear me on this. The road to your destiny is paved with rejection. It's unavoidable, it's necessary, and it's not personal. When someone says no, it's usually about their own limitations, their own fears, or simply timing. It's not about your worth or your potential. It's about what they can or cannot see at that moment. And guess what? Your destiny doesn't depend on their vision. Your destiny depends on your faith in yourself and your faith in the process. When I was younger, I had big dreams. I wanted to make it in the entertainment world. I knocked on countless doors and heard more no's than yeses. At times it was discouraging. I wanted to give up. But every time I heard no, I reminded myself, that's just a sign I'm pushing in the right direction. That's just a sign I'm getting closer. If I stopped because of one no, I wouldn't be standing here today. I wouldn't have the life I have. Because the truth is, your breakthrough might be right after your biggest rejection. You see, sometimes a no is God's way of redirecting you. It's not denial, it's preparation. You might be asking for one thing, but God's got something better in store, something you can't even see yet. That no is protection. It's a chance for you to grow stronger, wiser, and better prepared for what's coming. So when a door closes, don't waste time kicking it down. Instead, look for the next door, or better yet, build your own door. Most people want to believe that success should be easy, that their dreams should come to them quickly and without struggle. But the truth is, if it was easy, everyone would have it. The fact that you're facing obstacles means you're on to something that matters. The fact that you're hearing no means you're not settling for less. It means you're fighting for the life you deserve. And every no is a step closer to the yes that's going to change everything. So what do you do with that no? You use it. You use it to fuel your fire. You use it as a reminder that your destiny is bigger than this moment. You use it to grow tougher and more determined. You don't take it as a stop sign, but as a signal to keep going, because the road to greatness is not paved with easy answers. It's paved with persistence, resilience, and a refusal to quit. Remember, your destiny is not consoled by rejection, it's confirmed by it. When you hear that no, that's God's way of testing your commitment. How badly do you want it? How far are you willing to go? Will you turn back or will you push forward? The choice is yours. But if you want to live a life of purpose and fulfillment, you've got to embrace the no's as part of the journey. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your heart strong and keep moving forward. Because one day that no, that felt like the end, will be the moment you look back on and say, that's when it all began. Your destiny is waiting for you just beyond that next turn. And trust me, It's worth every single no along the way. I want you to understand something about greatness. It rarely announces itself with a big drum roll the first time it shows up. People don't always recognize greatness when it knocks on their door the first time. Sometimes greatness comes in quiet, unnoticed, misunderstood forms. Sometimes it doesn't look the way people expect. Sometimes it's wrapped up in struggle, failure, or raw potential that others just don't see yet. Think about some of the greatest people you know or stories you've heard. The ones who changed the game, who broke the mold, who rewrote history. None of them were handed their greatness on a silver platter. Most of them were overlooked, underestimated, and passed over time and time again before the world finally saw what was right in front of their faces. That's the harsh reality. Greatness isn't always obvious to the world at first glance. When you come knocking with your ideas, your talent, your vision, don't be surprised if people don't immediately jump up to recognize it. Sometimes they won't see your potential because they're stuck in their own limited way of thinking. Sometimes they won't hear your message because it challenges what they believe to be possible. Sometimes they won't open that door because they're too comfortable with the way things have always been. But here's the deal. You don't need everyone to recognize your greatness right now. You just need to keep knocking. You need to keep showing up even when nobody's applauding. You need to keep working even when nobody's watching. Because the truth is, greatness is not about the approval of others. It's about the faith you have in yourself and the persistence to keep pushing forward when the crowd is silent. Most people give up too soon because they expect immediate recognition. They think if greatness is real, it should be obvious to everybody right away. But real greatness takes time to develop, and it takes even more time for others to catch on. Sometimes you have to be your own biggest fan before the world becomes your audience. Sometimes you have to nurture your gift in the quiet before you hear the roar. The reason greatness often goes unrecognized at first is because it's usually accompanied by humility, patience, and hard work behind the scenes. Nobody sees the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the failures. They only see the final product. And sometimes that final product takes years to emerge. So when you're putting in the work and nobody seems to notice, that doesn't mean you're invisible. It means you're building a foundation so strong that when greatness does arrive, it can't be ignored. Greatness is not a one-time event, it's a process. It's the small decisions you make every day to show up and give your best. It's the refusal to quit when things get tough. It's the ability to stay focused on your vision even when nobody else believes in it. And that kind of greatness, it's going to take a little time before it's clear to everyone around you. So don't be discouraged if people don't recognize your value right away. Remember, some of the greatest legends in history were rejected the first time they tried. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for TV early in her career. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. What did they do? They kept knocking. They kept showing up. They kept believing in their greatness long before anyone else did. You have to understand that the world's delayed recognition doesn't diminish your worth. It doesn't reduce your potential. It simply means you're in the early stages of something special. Your time is coming. Your moment will arrive. But you have to be willing to wait, to trust the process, and to keep working even when it feels like nobody's paying attention. Sometimes greatness is quiet because it's growing roots. Sometimes greatness is misunderstood because it's ahead of its time. But when it finally blooms, it changes everything. So keep knocking on that door, even if it stays closed today. Keep pouring your heart into your craft, even if nobody seems to notice. Keep believing in the power of your vision, even if the crowd is silent. And when your greatness finally gets recognized, And you'll look back and realize that all those moments of being overlooked were actually preparing you for that very moment. They were shaping your character, your resilience, your determination. They were making sure that when greatness finally showed up, you were ready to handle it with grace and strength. Don't let the world's inability to see your greatness right now make you question yourself. Don't let the silence stop your voice. Don't let the closed doors convince you that you're not meant to walk through. Keep knocking, keep moving, keep believing, because greatness isn't just something that knocks once. It's something that keeps knocking until it's heard. And when you answer, it will change your life forever. Now listen to me closely, because this one right here is about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. After uncontact, this is the move he won't accept. What does that mean? It means once you've made your presence known, once you've shown up with your value, your talent, your purpose, it's time to stop accepting anything that doesn't match that energy. It's time to draw a line in the sand and say no more. This is the move I won't take. See, too many people get caught in the trap of settling after they've already stepped into their power. They allow themselves to be treated less than what they brought to the table. They give people second chances that don't deserve it. They lower their standards. They accept crumbs when they should be getting a feast. But here's the truth. Once you've made contact with your destiny, once you've proven your value, you have to be firm about what you'll tolerate, because the moves you accept after that moment will either elevate you or keep you stuck. Let me be clear. This isn't about arrogance. It's about respect. Respect for yourself and for your journey. It's about understanding that you are not here to be anyone's backup plan or option B. You are here to be first choice. You are here to be treated with honor, dignity, and the recognition you deserve. After you've shown what you bring to the table, anything less than that is a move you simply cannot accept. Think about it like this. When a powerful player steps onto the court, after the first play, the game changes. Other players adjust. The opponents rethink their strategy. The crowd starts paying attention. But if that player keeps allowing bad passes, weak plays, or distractions, then they're the ones holding themselves back. The best players demand the ball on their terms. They refuse to make moves that don't benefit their game. That's the same energy you need after you've made your contact in life. You've got to know the moves you won't accept. This applies to every area of your life. Your relationships, your career, your mindset. After you've revealed your worth, don't accept disrespect disguised as love. Don't accept a job that undervalues your skills. Don't accept a circle of friends that don't support your growth. You've got to have boundaries because your destiny demands it. Your purpose demands it. The energy you carry demands it. And if you don't set those standards, then the world will set them for you, and they won't be high enough. I've seen so many people let go of their power by accepting too much after they've already proven themselves. They think, well, I don't want to lose this opportunity, or I don't want to upset this person. But the real loss comes from losing yourself in the process. The real upset is the one inside your own heart when you realize you settled for less than you knew you deserved. Don't let fear of temporary discomfort keep you from standing firm on what you won't accept. You have to understand that once you make contact with your purpose and potential, you become a different kind of force. You can't keep doing the same things or accepting the same treatment, because that's how people take advantage of you. They wait for the moment you're vulnerable, the moment you're unsure, the moment you're willing to lower your standards. But you are stronger than that. You are wiser than that. You come too far to settle now. And I want you to know this is not about shutting people out. It's about protecting your energy. It's about choosing peace over chaos, choosing growth over comfort, choosing faith over fear. When you refuse to accept moves that don't align with your true worth, You're not being selfish. You're being smart. You're setting yourself up for the life you were meant to live. So after on contact, when you've made your move known, know this: there are some moves you simply won't accept anymore. You won't accept negativity in your circle. You won't accept disrespect in your relationships. You won't accept doubt in your mind. You won't accept anything that tries to pull you away from the path you're on. You're moving forward with clarity, confidence, and conviction. Remember, the power is in your hands. The power to say yes to what builds you up and no to what tears you down. The power to walk away from situations that no longer serve you and to walk boldly toward the future you're creating. After on contact, this is the move he won't accept. And it should be the move you won't accept too. When you understand this, you become unstoppable, because nothing and no one can hold you back when you refuse to accept less than your best. Your destiny is calling you to rise up and claim your place. So don't settle, don't compromise, and definitely don't accept moves that diminish your light. Keep shining, keep moving, and keep setting the standard for what you will and will not accept. That's the move. That's the power. That's your future. Let me tell you something that too many people overlook. After contact, after you've made that initial breakthrough, the biggest move you absolutely cannot accept is complacency. You heard me right. Complacency is a silent killer. It sneaks in after the win, after the success, after you've shown what you're capable of, and it whispers lies in your ear that say, you've done enough. You can slow down now. You can take it easy. And if you listen to that voice, you start to lose everything you fought so hard for. See, contact means you've arrived somewhere. You've made your mark. You've stepped on the stage and people have seen you. Maybe you got that promotion. Maybe you landed that deal. Maybe you signed that contract. Or maybe you started that business. Whatever that contact is in your life, the moment you went from dreaming to doing, that's when the real test begins. Because the moment you think you can relax, the moment you stop pushing, the moment you become comfortable, you start moving backwards. Complacency is the enemy of progress. It's the thief of dreams. When you become complacent, you're telling the universe that you're okay with staying right where you are, even if you came from a place of struggle or pain or hunger. And that's not why you got started. That's not why you put in the work day after day, night after night. You didn't climb out of the hole just to settle on the edge of it. No, you were meant to keep climbing, keep rising, keep expanding. Now, I know why complacency is so dangerous. It feels comfortable. It's the easy choice. It's tempting to say, I've arrived. I can rest now. But resting too soon is the quickest way to fall behind. The world doesn't wait. Your competition doesn't sleep. The people who were once behind you are working harder, growing faster, aiming higher. And if you're not moving, you're losing ground. This is why after contact, you have to guard your mindset fiercely. You have to keep that hunger alive. You have to remind yourself every single day why you started. Because success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the journey demands constant effort, constant growth, constant reinvention. You cannot afford to accept complacency as your move, no matter how tempting it might be. Complacency kills innovation, kills creativity, kills passion. It's the quiet voice that convinces you to stop dreaming bigger, to stop setting higher goals, to stop believing you can be more. But you were born for more. Your life was designed for more. So when you feel that comfort creeping in, when you feel yourself thinking, this is good enough, fight it, push back, challenge yourself to do more, to be more, to serve more. You have to understand something. After contact, complacency isn't just a personal issue, it's a spiritual one. It's a betrayal of the gifts and talents you've been given. It's a rejection of the potential inside you. When you settle, you're telling God or the universe or whatever higher power you believe in that you're not interested in the fullness of your destiny. And that's not who you are. The people who succeed long term are the ones who never accept complacency. They stay hungry. They keep learning. They keep grinding. They keep showing up even when they're tired. Even when the applause dies down, they keep putting in the work because they know greatness is a lifelong commitment. And that commitment means refusing to accept anything that slows down your progress. So after contact, after you've made that first move and people have seen you, make a decision right now that complacency will never be your move. Decide that you will keep chasing excellence, keep building momentum, keep growing your skills and your vision, because the world needs what you have to offer, but only if you're at your best. Don't let comfort become your cage. Don't let the satisfaction of a win blind you to the next mountain you have to climb. Keep your eyes on the prize and your feet moving forward. Complacency is a move you cannot accept because it's the enemy of your greatness, the enemy of your progress, and the enemy of your future. Remember, the moment you accept complacency is the moment you stop becoming the person you were meant to be. So stand firm, stay hungry, keep moving, and don't ever, ever accept complacency as a move after contact. That's how champions are made, and that's how legacies are built. Listen, hesitation is a luxury you cannot afford once you've made contact with your purpose, your opportunity, your destiny. After on contact, the move he won't accept is hesitation, because hesitation is the enemy of progress, the thief of dreams, the killer of momentum. It's that split second of doubt, that pause of uncertainty, that moment when you question yourself instead of stepping up. And let me tell you, that moment right there is all it takes for the opportunity to pass you by. When you're chasing your dreams, when you're stepping into your calling, hesitation can be fatal. It slows you down. It makes you miss your moment. It causes you to second guess your instincts and the very signals that say, this is your time, move now. But after you've made contact, after the doors have opened, after the chance is in front of you, you don't get to hesitate. You don't get to pause. You don't get to think twice. You have to act fast, bold, decisively. See, hesitation isn't just a mental pause. It's a choice. It's the choice to hold back when you should be moving forward. It's the choice to doubt your abilities when you should be trusting your training. It's the choice to let fear take control when you should be stepping out in faith. And once you've made that contact, once you've shown what you're about, you can't afford that choice anymore because your destiny demands action. I want you to think about this. How many opportunities have you lost because you hesitated? How many times did you almost say yes, almost take the chance, almost make the move, and then the moment slipped away? Hesitation is a silent killer of dreams because it disguises itself as caution. It tells you, wait, think more, be sure. But sometimes the time for thinking is over. The time for action is now. After contact, hesitation will cost you more than you realize. It will cost you momentum, confidence, and respect from others and from yourself. When you hesitate, people notice. They start doubting your commitment. They wonder if you're really ready to step up. They might even take your hesitation as a sign to move past you, to leave you behind. But if you move quickly and decisively, you show the world you're serious. You show yourself you're serious. And that changes everything. Think about the great leaders, the game changers, the trailblazers. One thing they all have in common is this: they don't hesitate when opportunity knocks. They don't stall when it's their time to shine. They make the move even when they're scared, even when they're unsure, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed, because they understand that hesitation is the enemy and bold action is the weapon that cuts through doubt. I'm not saying you shouldn't prepare or plan. Planning is important, but there comes a time when preparation must give way to execution. After contact, when the moment is here, you have to stop questioning yourself and start trusting yourself. You have to trust the work you've done, the skills you've built, and the vision you have for your life. Hesitation doesn't serve you. It only holds you back. And here's another truth. Hesitation breeds regret. When you look back on your life, the biggest regrets aren't the things you tried and failed at. No, the biggest regrets are the chances you didn't take because you hesitated. The words you didn't say because you paused too long. The doors you didn't walk through because you were afraid to step. Regret is heavy, but hesitation lays that burden on you. Don't carry that weight any longer. So after on contact, what's the move he won't accept? Hesitation, because hesitation means losing your edge, losing your chance, losing yourself. You've got to be ready to strike when the iron is hot. You've got to be ready to step out even when the path isn't fully clear. You've got to be ready to act with courage and conviction. You were not born to sit on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment. You were born to be in the game, making moves, creating opportunities, breaking barriers. And that means when the moment arrives, after contact, you can't freeze, you can't pause, you can't hesitate. You've got to move with purpose, with power, and with the belief that what you do next will change your life forever. The man who refuses to hesitate is the man who wins. The man who moves quickly and boldly is the man who commands respect. The man who trusts himself is the man who realizes his destiny. So stand up, step out, and take that move. Because after contact, hesitation is a move he won't accept, and neither should you. Now is your time. Now is your moment. Don't hesitate. Move.